And welcome everyone to the new family tree. And
Right,
it
that's what's up.
is April the 7th. And I pray that everyone is doing well and that you're doing well and you and your
Yes,
family are
yes,
doing
yes,
well
yes.
in these times that seem to be going crazy all over again. You know, we are going into a fourth wave. Did y'all hear that fourth
Yeah,
wave?
man.
You
That's
know, when
crazy,
they
Dr.
didn't think
Paul.
it was there the whole time. I believe that is we've been in it for a little bit, and I think it's going to get even worse because they're not doing as much testing to actually quantify that there's more people getting sick. But yet the
Yes, yes.
hospitals are showing it. You don't have to show it; people are showing up at the hospital. So,
Uh-huh.
hey, we want to chime in and talk about all these things that are going on. I hope that we can tackle some of the questions that you have today. And if there's any questions that we don't have, we're going to find them out also.
I know
All
that's right.
right. And I hope that you're staying on top of your seasonal cleanse. We are in the seasonal cleanse. Many people may be either in, beginning, or about to start someone form of a detox or something. It is a change of season, so it's a good time to start a new beginning. So if this is your beginning, it may start the very day you get the information. That's
I
your
know
new
that's
season
right.
right there. How about that? All right, so I want to start off by giving our host, Big B, Bill
Yes, sir.
1L
That's
Morgan,
right.
a
That's what's
hand.
up,
Let's give them a
everybody. Yes,
hand.
yes.
Yes,
That's what's up.
and Big L
I know.
Morgan,
Big L. I got that.
Big L. Bill 1L Morgan,
Put
give
a
us the
hand
update
up.
on what's going on, man.
Y'all, hey
Ford
guys, look. Let me
asthma.
just say this here. If you don't know what's going on,
Asthma
you better
virus.
get on the same page because it's getting serious out here, folk. Let me
Okay,
tell you
make
something.
sure you mute yourself. Make sure you mute yourself, family.
Okay, listen, look, listen. Just last week, here were our numbers last week, guys. The total confirmed cases last week, okay, was 129 million. This week, listen, are you sitting down? 133 million. 641 196,000
Hmm.
as updated as of what 4 minutes ago. Total
Hmm.
critical cases last week, guys. Total critical was 96,000. This week 100,811. Is that crazy or what?
Hmm.
Total
Yeah.
deceased last week. Total deceased 2.8 million. Okay. Total deceased again 2.897 million. That's
Hmm.
for this week. Last week we have total active last week was 26,084,650. That's this week. Last week it was for our total active case was 25 million. 25,291,000. So it's seesawing. It's going back and forth. Here, guys. Here, let's go with our drum roll, guys. Here we go. Last week, I heard that. I got you, Dr. B. Total recovered last week, 104,355,489. But this week, 107,753,107.
Do you mean to tell me there's 3 million people got well since last week?
Yes,
Did you
sir.
say 103 million last week?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But
Yes,
guess
sir.
what? There's 107 million this week?
Yes, sir.
Wow.
And Dr. Hall, and nobody has said a thing.
It's like crickets outside,
Yeah.
y'all. So
Well,
what's happening? You know what? I always say this. There may be people that are on the line right now. You may be
mhm.
someone, or someone that was diagnosed with COVID,
Yes, yes.
and with that came through it. And that's what should be celebrated. I truly
Hmm.
believe that should be celebrated, but we're not celebrating those that have totally recovered from this thing, because that's a shout right there. When someone tells you
So
you
very
have
true.
something that could possibly cause you death,
Hmm.
and immediately that changes your whole life. You start putting a whole lot of things in perspective,
Yes,
right?
sir. Yes.
So those people, I think if there's anything, they need to be celebrated. They should definitely have that number and that stat on our top. So if you want to go to that website, Big B,
Yeah,
you're
sure.
tell them where they can go to that website.
Yeah, guys. Of course, that's our favorite website, which is ncove219.live. That's ncov 2019.live, and you can keep that. And by the way, you know that there's a on your phone, you can download it on your phone, so you have access to it. So when people give you all this gloom and doom, you can pull it up and say, "Yo, this is what's happening, guys." And guess what? Give them some hope, because a lot of people on this earth right now don't have a lot of hope, Dr. Paul.
I
And
know.
the whole thing is to do with, I got to keep you down. If I keep you down, then guess what? Your system cannot heal itself.
Yes, right. Yeah.
See,
Yeah.
remember, the mind is the battlefield, guys. Remember that.
Mhm.
As long
Mind.
as the overpopulation, put it like this, as long as the folk out there keep feeding you stuff like it can't be done, you will not come out of it. So remember,
Yeah, that's
it's
right.
on
That's
you.
right.
It's on you guys. Okay.
Right. Good
Yeah, okay.
words. Good word
Yes,
to the
sir.
wise.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It's sufficient, right? All right, family. We're going to start off today, and if you are joining us for the very first time, welcome. We have a policy that we just want you to, raise your hand. This is the family tree.
That's
So
right.
with the
That's
family
right.
tree, we gather around and we talk about the issues and subjects and topics and news items and
Sometimes
things
she
that are
wants
going on
us
that are affecting you and your
and about
family.
multivitamin.
So what you
Guys,
want to do?
make sure you mute
Make sure
yourself,
you
guys.
mute. Make sure you mute, family.
yourself,
Make sure you
guys.
mute. So we're going to talk about the things that are coming up and the things that we're talking about right now, like the COVID, of course, which is a hot topic. So if you have a question, you can go down to your chat and raise your hand, and we'll put your hand up. And then at some point in time, I'll grab your question and we'll go in. We learn from each other faster than anything. Did you know that? We
Amen.
learn
So very true.
faster
So very true. Doctor.
from each other than anything. So social, not only security, is social learning. You know when they used to have the one room schoolhouse? Y'all remember that?
Yeah.
Y'all remember Little Rascals, right?
I do. Oh, like one of the Little Rascals.
Remember
That
Little
was every day.
Rascals when
That
they
was
used to
every
get in
day,
that
Doctor.
one room? Well, there's a concept behind the one room schoolhouse. And I remember my grandmother and grandfather used to tell me about the one room schoolhouse. Y'all remember the one room schoolhouse?
I do.
These people up in
I do.
North Philadelphia and
I do.
Northeast and don't know nothing about the one room schoolhouse. But if there's somebody on here from the South, there used to be a time when it was this one room schoolhouse.
Yes,
But this
sir.
means that people learned at the same time. But here's the concept behind it. The concept behind it is that if you're in the room, and if I'm the teacher and I'm speaking to a 6-year-old, a 7-year-old, and an 8-year-old, and I'm relaying the information. Now, the information goes forward, but what the 8-year-old, because they're older, understands, and the 7 and the 6-year-old can't understand, they will learn it faster from the 8-year-old to the
Yes, sir.
7-year-old to the 6-year-old faster than I could teach it to them. That's called social learning.
Yes,
And
sir.
they know that it's a powerful, powerful tool. It was also used as, in some ways, a way of separating and making people more in the line of not learning at a faster rate, but slowing the rate down.
There you go.
Wow.
There you
Yes, absolutely. So they said, well, wait a minute. We got to slow it down because they're learning too fast. Maybe if we just separate them and put everybody who's the 7th grade and 8th grade and 9th grade, then they can't teach each other nothing.
There you go.
Wow.
There you go.
So that's where a lot of this comes from. You learn faster when you're in different environments like we're in right now. We have people from all over. And from that, you'll learn faster in social environments like this. So that's why we have the family tree. It's interesting. I used to always hear as a young child, Lil Paul said, you got 2 ears and 1 mouth to do double the listening and half the talking. So
Well,
shut up, because you don't know nothing. That's
what's
what
up.
she used to say.
That's what's up.
And then she always said, and what you don't know, they can build a whole new world.
Yeah. Hallelujah. That's
So
true.
what does that mean? That means we have to sharpen our listening skills. You
Yes,
got it?
yes,
You got to be
yes.
a very intuitive listener to understand what someone's saying and what they're not saying. And sometimes that is what's missing in a lot of our relationships. There's a lot of misunderstandings
Yes,
happen
yes,
with
yes.
that. Sometimes you got to give people the space to let them talk it out and then let
Mm-hmm.
them run. Sometimes I'll get, even on my side, on the radio side, they say, Doc, why do you let that person just keep on talking? They said, you just can't let them keep on talking. Why don't you cut them off? I said, because if I don't let them run, and let them get out what they're going to get out, then they're going to not be able to listen when it's my turn to talk.
There you
Got
go.
it?
That's
You
it.
got it? You got it?
Because they come with
when-
a preconceived idea. They want to get theirs done.
Right,
See?
because sometimes in communications we tend to automatically, when you're getting into a communication, it becomes more of a competition.
Yes.
And then when they say, well, when they finish what they're saying, they're not listening to you. They're saying, I'm about to say this. I'll wait till they say that, then I'm gonna come back with that. And they're formulating already before they're even listening. So now you just lost each other's communication. So we have to start to communicate better. So I want to talk about some of those things that we have to do. What's better communication? What kind of listener are you? Have you ever even considered what type of listener are you? Are you someone that just cut people off? Oh my goodness, cut them off.
Well, there's a bunch
Or
of
are you someone who says, let me hear what you got to say? And then when there's actually when there's silence, then you say, all right, well, this is what I feel. So I believe that is a big problem now with our political realm, and also with communications and a lot of the politics, and not only that, but also why some things are getting done and they're not. People are not listening to each other. All right, so we got an Earth for that. How about that?
well, hallelujah.
All right. We're going to go to the first hands that are raised, and remember, if you want to if you have a question, just raise your hand. Go down to the
Or put it in the chat. Yep.
or put it in the chat. You can put it in the chat. Raise your hand, and we'll see if we can get to you. All right. So let's see. Who do I have first? I have Helen. Helen, you got your hand up first this time. How about that?
Great. So how are you doing, Dr. Paul? How are you
Oh,
doing,
we're
Bill?
doing
Great,
well.
Helen.
Doing well.
How's
How
everyone
you?
doing tonight?
Good.
Yeah. So I have a question. I know that no question is a dumb question. So I have a question about preventatives and protection about secondhand smoking. What can I do to protect myself from other people smoking? And I have other questions.
Yeah, it's really tough. Secondhand smoke can be worse than firsthand smoke. You really have to, you got to get out of that environment. That's it. That's basically what it is. Now it becomes complicated if someone that you live with or your significant other is a smoker and you're not. That becomes a major problem. People are having cancer and they never smoke. And that's because of the person that they're living with is a smoker. Secondhand smoke can be the most dangerous smoke. That's why all those jazz musicians back in the day, from Coltrane to Dizzy to Miles, all of them died of some form of lung cancer because of smoke-filled rooms, second, third, and multiple sources. So there are some things that you can do to build that, to help that, but ultimately understand every time you inhale, it gets into your lungs, goes immediately into your bloodstream. So that's polluting the blood. So that's why you got to get away from that situation. Avoid the situation. That's why we're talking about, those whether they're smoking or vaping or, whatever they're doing, it's not good for the lungs. Your lungs are not made for smoke.
Yes.
You got it. That's just it.
Not a house for smoke.
They're not for smoke. I always use the expression, if they were, you could go into a burning building and have a real good time.
I know, right. Live a long
You cannot deal with smoke. Got it? So don't smoke. So you have to alleviate the problem. Now, if you're talking detox, that's something different. Now, if you're talking detox, we can get to try to pull the tar and the mucus out of the lungs. So there are things that you can do with that. There are herbs that do that. But the first problem is that you have to get yourself away from the situation. Okay? So if it's, and everyone's situation will be, I'm sure, different. All right?
Right. Okay. So the second question is in regards to mental health. During this pandemic, there's a lot of opposition where you have to deal with attitudes along with financial struggles and challenges day to day, along with family issues. How do you deal with that, as in, some stress techniques that, we could do besides, praying? That's the most we can do, is pray.
Most important.
But I don't know what, you would say about something like that.
Yeah. Immediately what comes to mind is that you have to, number one, be acceptance and understand what time we're in. This is a very strange time. No one
Yes.
knows
Yes.
how to deal with this. Even the experts don't know how to deal with this. They've never seen a pandemic, of this proportion that can actually say this is the solution, because it spins wild every week. Something
Mhm.
else wild happens, and when I say wild, it really gets wild. I mean, you never know what's coming down the pipe, so that immediately keeps you in a state of anxiety. Because you're like, what have I got to do now? What about the job? What about my children? What about?
Yes.
And
Yes.
there's
Yes.
no solutions. No, everything they have told us is absolutely wrong, or
Wrong.
they've been totally wrong on all spectrums. So yes, it's going to cause a lot of problems. That's why I say focus on the internal woman, internal man. That's where you can find that peace that you're looking for. Starts with what's called decompression time.
Yes. Yes.
Everybody needs to write that down.
So very
Decompression
important.
time. Decompression time happens when you isolate at least 1 hour a day. Okay, 1 hour a day, you should do something that just about you. It could be in the morning, could be the afternoon, could be the evening.
Mhm.
Decompression time is something that's needed because you have to be able to release this. You don't want to boggle this up. They're talking now how children are now starting to explode. They're just losing it, because they're not seeing their friends. They're having temper tantrums, and
Mhm.
you got parents having tantrums. So you got everything going on.
Yes. Very
So
true.
decompression's time starts with 1 hour. You map out the time, but here's the rules. The rules are there are none. And that is that you just have to be able to do something for yourself that you like to do. It can't be something somebody made up and said you should do this, or I think you should do, or girl, let's go do this, or hey, dude, let's go do that. No, it has to be something that you determine that this is the way I relax. You got it? So you got to relate. Some people with prayer, some people with meditation, some people with reading, writing, some people get into poetry, some people just get into the jazz music or the
Yes. Yes.
aromatherapies,
Yes.
whatever it is, whatever that space that you have to, that makes you comfortable, you got to find it. You
Yes.
got it? You got to
Okay.
find it. You got to find that space, and you owe yourself 1 hour.
Yep.
Do y'all believe y'all owe an hour to yourself after all the craziness going on? Do you owe yourself an hour? You an
Yes.
If
hour?
if you don't,
Absolutely.
it'll blow you up, guys. I'm just telling you.
Absolutely. Because, it's just like filling up a vessel. Like you filling something up, right? You filling up the cap, you filling it up, but you're not emptying it, and you fill it up, and then one time they're gonna say, boop, boy, Helen came in here and just told everybody off. She was flipped her lid. And then you sit there going, well, I ain't never did nothing like that. I don't
That
know
might
what
be how they
me.
decompress.
You got me? You just flipped your lid. That means that lid was being pressured. You got
Yes.
it? That's where flip
Right.
your lid comes from.
Yes.
Ticket
Don't
Yes.
bombs
think
just
about
go
that.
off,
Yeah,
explode.
you
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
explode. Boom. It's like, and then see, you never can take it back now. You got it? Because
Yeah.
words are said,
You
emotions
can
are
never unhear
expressed,
that.
things are done that you can never take back. You
That's
got
exactly
it?
right.
Right.
Somebody, you might just had that one time that you never did it, but they saw it. And they said, girl, I ain't never seen you like that. But I'm going to remember
Yeah.
that. You
And
got
trust
me?
me, they all
So
remember the bad stuff.
you got
None
it.
of the good
So
stuff.
here's the thing. That's why decompression time is
But
very,
forgiveness is power. When you forgive,
you
that's
got it.
power. You're not holding a
True.
grudge
True.
within. And
Absolutely.
love
See,
conquers all. Love is powerful. When you say you love someone, that right there is power. That's healing. That's the process right there.
that's right. Love, support, and family. That's
Yeah.
really where you remove all shame. So many people are, really downtrodden before they feel inadequate. that I have not sufficed my, true purpose in life. All those things come up. You never know what people are going through. That's why I
Right.
always say be cheerful to people and everyone you meet. I
Right.
try to be courteous in every way when I'm speaking to people because of that
You
very.
might offend somebody by something that you
Absolutely,
say.
So very
absolutely.
true.
And then never
So very
be
true.
afraid to say I'm sorry. It's never a point. Sometimes you just, had a bad day, and then boom, something snapped. That's why it's like you need that focus time. Focus time is that 1 hour a day. Get that day. Find out your time. Look at your scale. Look at your time frame. Say, where is best for me? Is it morning? Is it afternoon? Is it evening? What works best for me?
Yes, yes. So very
And
true.
then you have to zone in on that. A lot of things, I'm telling you, prayer works, y'all. Prayer works. Prayer just, works. Music, getting you into that spiritual space. Really you have to get quiet.
Mm-hmm.
Some people say I never get quiet. Turn the phone off,
You need to.
turn the TV off. You just got to turn it off and then find that space. People say I can't sleep. I said, and then when I probe down further, yeah, but my TV on all night.
Mm, that's
So
true.
you see what I mean? So yes, one of the number one and most powerful things you can say is I'm sorry. You
Mhm.
got
That's
it?
right.
Or
A
I
faith
forgive
that
you.
prays together stays
Or
together.
forgive me. You got it? That's the
Yes,
most
yes, yes.
powerful things you can say. Sometimes it's just the fact of acknowledgement that you did
Yeah.
somebody wrong. That's all they looking
Right.
for. Just
Yep.
say you did it.
That's
All
right.
right, all right. I'm
I'm
bad. My
sorry.
bad.
That's
I'm
right.
sorry. I'm human. We are
That's
all
right.
human. We make mistakes. No one's going to
Reflect the
be
blood.
perfect, and we
That's
got to
right.
stop living this life, this unrealistic life vision that everything can be perfect. No, you're human. You're going to make mistakes. Even the greatest of all people make mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
So don't hold the grudge on yourself, and be also have the ability to forgive yourself.
Ooh, that's the big
For
one.
things.
That's the big one.
Right.
Be very, very honest and say, you know what? I wasn't the best at that, or I could have done better with that. But guess what? I'm going to take it to the
Right.
next level and I'm going to pass it on to somebody
Mhm.
else. Got it?
That's
That's
right.
all it is. Doesn't mean you got to have, the stripe on your arm. It's like, hey, I wasn't the best at that, or whatever it was. But guess what? I'm going to learn from it. I'm going to keep it moving. I'm going to press forward. Got it? So,
Yes.
Helen, I
Thank you so
think
very
that's what.
much. God
Thank you
bless you,
so
Dr.
much.
Paul.
Thank
Yes,
you.
indeed.
God bless you now. All
Thank
right,
you.
as we let more folks in, Big B, anyone in the chat room
You know
down
what?
there?
While you like those folk, let me remind you, folk, there is something that's important that's going on with what Dr. Paul just said. You know what? We are at a point. And listen, let me just talk to the guys for a second. We are the biggest guy. We're the biggest one that's guilty of this. You know what? Our wives say sometimes, or our partners say something to us, and we hear something completely different. Let's just go there. It's like,
You, Bill, you about to get in trouble. You,
Dr. Paul, hey, look, buddy.
Preach,
It's
Bill,
just,
preach.
go ahead, Lillian. Don't encourage him. Don't encourage him now.
but because it's the truth. But you know what? Now, ladies, understand something. We have, for those of us who are quote unquote been under that pressure all day long. Okay, then we
Okay.
walk in the door, and I say something, and she says, so. I said, huh? It's like a what? What did you say? And
Mhm.
then everybody gets crazy, and that's when that moment comes in when you got to back up 10 yards and punt. And say, wait,
Yeah.
honey, what did you hear me say?
Yeah, yeah. And it goes back again to
Oh,
listening skills.
yes,
We
yes,
got to
sir.
listen to each other.
Yes,
I did a whole presentation. We did the show on the types of listening. The
yes,
listener.
yeah,
What kind of listener are you?
yes,
Concrete? Are you intuitive? There's a lot of different ones we went on. I may
intuitive,
have to go over that one again.
yes,
But I think we just have to just be willing to listen.
yeah.
People are not willing to take the time anymore, and then when we don't take the time to just listen, as my phone was ringing,
Tell them to leave us
I
alone.
don't think people spend the time to listen to each other. I tell you, one of the greatest ways you can learn so much is by just listening.
Yeah,
When people
yeah.
come in and do assessments, I sit down and I just listen. And I was like, wow, you get so much information by listening.
Yeah.
Therefore, you get the whole picture. You got to get the whole picture. So, yeah.
Crazy statement. It's amazing what you know that you don't know
Mhm.
that you know until you listen to yourself.
Yes, there you go. Very word to the wise. Word to the wise. All right, who do we have
Thank you,
now?
Bill.
I have. Who do I have now up on deck? I have. Is that Dolly and Cynthia? Hello, Dolly and Cynthia.
There. I say there
Are
you
you
Yes.
can?
Okay, we're here. Yeah, this
Yes.
is
How are
Cynthia.
you?
All is well. How are you?
I am
Wonderful.
doing well. We are doing well, right?
That's good. Yes, all is well. Um, I want to know what multivitamin you suggest. That's good. What would you take?
Green drink. That is your multivitamin.
Yes.
You got it.
Yes.
That's what the green drinks concept of the green drink is. That's what the land and sea. When you buy the multivitamins like the Centrum and all that. Matter by the way, I've never seen anyone who was taking Centrum that actually didn't have heart palpitations, because that's what's called pharmaceutical grade. That hard caplet. You don't want nothing hard. Got it? Especially
Mhm.
as we get
Right.
older, you don't want nothing hard. Those hard caplets are hard to break down. That means your
Yes.
pH has to be exactly on. That's why we do, you want to always make sure you're getting things like chewables. You
Mhm.
want capsules, teas, liquids, gels, things that are easy, what's called bioavailable, which
Mhm.
means that I don't have to work to get it. You got it? I don't have to work to
I got
get
you.
this. So
Mhm.
that's what multivitamins, no quicker way than a powder of nutrients that is trace mineral and land. That's the quickest way.
But doc, do you have a multivitamin yourself to prescribe?
Yeah, the green drink.
The green
Yes,
drink.
the
The green
NGB.
drink.
The NGB. The natural
Okay.
green balance. That's what we
How
talking
can
about.
I get? I'm trying to get in contact to prescribe to it. I have trouble with it.
What do you mean? You're
I'm
having what now?
I'm having trouble getting it from you. From you.
No, no, no. You just order right from either Pollock Herbs or Wayne Avenue. That's where
Okay.
you would get it from. Okay?
All
You get
right.
it right there. Since the COVID-19, because there's, and people don't realize that we're in a pandemic sometimes. They still believe that, things just appear in the stores, but
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
there is pandemic, y'all, when it comes to, the industry of import and export. So a lot of things are not getting to their location and destination. Like, for example, everyone see, this is my green drink right here. Can y'all see that? Woo, 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 woo.
Uh, come
I can't
Right,
see
right
it.
there. Right there. Right.
tag.
There
Here it
you go.
is,
Right
right
there.
there.
Right there. Yes.
Right there. See that? That's my green drink. I had to
Okay.
get a different container this week. Same size, same product, same everything. But one of the largest distributors in the world, which actually makes containers and lids, just went out of business.
Wow. Come on.
Forever. They're gone.
Oh, Lord.
Forever. That's what they were told us. So all distributors and things are running now. They're trying to, they're scrambling now because of things. It's hard because of you saw what happened with the blockade that took with that big ship that was about a week ago.
Yes. Mhm.
Well, that blocked a lot, and that cost people a lot of money. A lot of businesses can't rebound off of that. So those that were already in hard times now totally they just said we're closing shop. So that affects everything. So when we are talking about getting the products into the stores, we are doing some incredible moves, man. I tell you, I really have to give a credit out to my distributors that are in Florida. They're really doing some incredible stuff, because what I have with the green drink, I have the ingredients coming from places like Costa Rica, some of the ingredients coming from South Africa, somewhere, and they're all coming to one location, and that's where the formulation happens. That's why I believe that closer to the equator is where all your energy and nutrients is. So
Yes,
that's why I
yes.
don't compromise my formula, and I don't want to get it from up closer to the above the equator. So that's what makes the green drink work. Remember, you need what? Minerals, nutrients. That's what's in those little multivitamins. Where does it come from? Land and sea. So what better way to get it than a green drink? Got
There
it?
you go. There you go.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you, Doc. Thank you, Doc.
Okay. All right. Take care. All right. All right. Who do we have here? I have Troy. Is that Troy? Drop your hand once you've
Once you've spoken,
and make
drop
sure
your
you can
hand
drop your
and-
hands.
and mute
Troy?
yourself.
Yeah, how you
Troy,
doing,
you
Mr.
there?
Doctor?
All right,
Yep.
Troy. Where are you?
I'm right here.
Troy. All right, Troy, down there. I see you.
Question. What is it you suggest I take for vertigo?
A green drink, Mom. Right?
Well, vertigo, you have to find out what is causing the vertigo. For those who know vertigo, that's, spinning or dizziness. Got it? So, I would ask, I would probably probe you first. Okay. Number one thing you have to take off the table and eliminate is structural issues. Structure.
Right there. Yeah, up there.
Okay. Okay. Make sure, darling, Cynthia, make sure you mute yourself. Okay.
Yeah.
Troy, what you want to do is make sure you have no structural issues. That means cervical would be causing a lot of the issues there. Cervical spine would be C1 through C7.
Okay.
Okay, that means also make sure I would ask you questions like, were you ever in a fall, accident, car accident or something, or did you play professional sports, or something like that, or do you have neck pains, anything like that going on?
No.
Okay, so the second thing would be infections, any infections at all in the system.
No.
It could be. Right. So now when you look at that, are you on any medications?
No, sir.
No medications at all. And
No.
when you have the vertigo and these spins, when is it happening?
When I get up and lay down.
When I get up and lay down.
Okay. So do you know your blood pressure?
Yeah, it was a little high today.
It was a little high today.
What's high?
I forget.
Uh,
But then it went down.
She's not sure that it was high, but then it went down once we.
Give me an idea. What's high? Give me an idea.
I forget.
She forgot what it was.
Okay, so here, family, listen to me now. When you're talking about blood vessels, when you get your blood pressure taken, first of all, everybody on here need to be taking their blood pressure.
Yes.
You got me? Everybody needs to be taking your blood pressure to know where you are. Who has a cuff and who does not have a cuff? Everybody have a cuff?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody got a cuff? Not everybody raise their hand at one time, all right?
Make sure you get them,
Okay,
guys.
all right. You see the response. Okay. All right. I want you to know your numbers, especially if you're on a blood pressure medication. You got to know your numbers. Only way you're going to move off of this stuff is if you start to know your numbers better than those that are diagnosing you with this stuff. You got it? So when the pressure squeezes the arm, it's trying to match the pressure inside of you. Got it? So when it releases, now the blood flows back into the arm at a rate. That's your diastolic. So systolic is the top number, which is on our side on naturopathy. We know that's absolutely stress. That's your stress level. And then on the bottom number, that's the diastolic. That's the diastolic is the vessels in which they open up. We actually call that things like endothelia. Endothelia is the vessels that push to the hands and feet, things like that. So your real number should be, and remember, I remember doing it about 20 years ago, probably since today, about 20 years ago, even around this time. I used to do research, and we did research with Jefferson, University of Penn, and I was just assigned to go out and take people's blood pressure all over the city of Philadelphia, Delaware Valley, Jersey, everywhere. And we took all that information. At that time, I want y'all to write this down. This is the timeline for blood pressure. And I can speak this because I lived this. This is what happened. So at that time, 20 years ago, which would that be, Big? I can't count that far. What was
20
that?
years ago, 2000. 2000, 2001.
Right. Somewhere around there, right?
Right. Uh-huh.
Around that time, the normal for blood pressure was 140 over 90. I said normal. Not high, normal.
I was at 119, 117 today over 58.
So here we
Is
are,
that for male or
140.
female?
Wait a minute. Let me go through here first. 140 over 90 was 20 years ago. So when you're talking about that number, that was considered normal. Then we did all our research and all our studies, and somewhere around after we turned all our data in, somewhere around 2003, they switched up. It's almost like they saw and they said, you know what? We see the numbers of 140. Most of the folks is between 140 and 130 on that top number. We dropped this to 120. Guess what? We got them all.
That's
That's
right, buddy.
exactly
I
what
can make
happened.
more money.
So that means from the year 2003,
Wow.
you know, that's when everything dropped down to 120 over 80. So that means that those people that were caught in that 130, 140, automatically you were diagnosed and put on medication. Now the other guy comes and knocks on the door. The other guy knocks on the door is the insurance guy. He said, hey, you now high risk. I can charge you more. So now he gets paid. Now at the same time, you never change. You still at that same 130, 140 number. Got it? Where you used to be normal. So now that went on from 2003 all the way to 2013. In 2013, they switched up again and said, you know what? Our pockets are so big we can't even walk. We got so many people, and there's so many that we gotta slow it down. So they pulled back, and then they dropped it back up. They said we're gonna push it back to 140 over 90, but wait, just for the seniors.
Oh.
Wow, wait a minute. You know, you pulled everybody down, but now you're going to bring it back up just for the seniors. You got it? So I actually had one of the top cardiologists from University of Penn on the Green Hour, and I actually challenged, and I said, well, wait a minute. Aren't you telling people that, you know, this is not necessarily for them? You know, I believe everybody should check your pressure, and that if you're going to change it back to 140 over 90, but just the seniors, don't you think everybody else should get checked out too? She says, and that is not my responsibility.
Oh, no, you didn't say that, doctor.
Yes, it did. So after that, around 2017, they switched it again. So they went from 141 to 90. Then they said, we're going to go back to 130 over 80. So see how they're flip-flopping. They're flip-flopping back and forth. You got to know your numbers is what I'm saying. That's where we are right now, around 130 over 80, where they're saying is normal. And then high now is 140 over 90. Your real numbers are close to the ones that were about 20 years ago, which is 140 over 90. So when that top number is over 140, you got to say, wait a minute, something's going on. Or that low number is past 90. Yeah, you got to find out something's going on there. Or when that low number is way low, that means something else too. In naturopathy, we understand that as you got to move your spirit. You're slowing down to the point where you're not doing things. You got to move your spirit. You got it? Got to move your spirit. You're getting too laid back. Got it? You got to pick it up. Pick it up. And if you're at the number on the top is too high, that means you got to bring it down. Got it? So 140 over 90, I would say everyone check your numbers. Always do your numbers. Never take your pressure after you eat. Got it? Write that down.
Wow.
Never take your pressure right after you eat. And always take your pressure right around the time you've at least rest for about 20 minutes still. Don't get up and walk around and then sit down and say, I'm going to take my pressure. No, always rest about 10, 15 minutes. Got it? See, a lot of these things are causing dizziness. And Troy, I would have to really get into some other things, looking in the urine and things, because there's a lot of things that cause dizziness and vertigo issues. It could be something you're experiencing. There's a lot of things in the chemical industrialization going on, you know, inhalants, things that touch our skin. It's too many things to try to narrow just one down. But what I will say is make sure you have the fundamentals. Make sure your water's right. Make sure you check your pressure. Got it?
Right.
Make sure that you're not malnutrition. Got it? Okay. That's malnutrition, dehydration.
Mm-hmm.
Got it. Those are the two things that usually cause a lot of that. Usually, that's also a sign of toxicity of some level.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, some level of toxicity in the system. So once you've determined that it's not a structural issue, you don't have it, chiropractor would be in line. I would check with a chiropractor on that. Okay.
Okay.
But that's the checkpoint that we would do. But folks, know your numbers. Do your numbers at least once a day. Know your pressure. Right? Everybody got a pad, right?
Is there
Everybody
a specific
have a
kind of a cuff that you would recommend, Dr. Paul? Because a lot of people don't know which kind
yeah,
to purchase.
yeah. I mean, you base it on the size of your arm. Some people's
Okay.
arms are smaller or larger than others.
Okay.
There is also a wrist cuff. They're not as the most accurate, okay? But
Right,
it's
okay.
just the goal is to give you a ballpark, okay,
Okay.
of what's going on. They're not as accurate. Yes, there are some that are. There's OMCRON is one of the best ones. Just get a good one. And when you do this, make sure you log your numbers. So every day, just make sure you log yourself. Got it? And therefore, you know that, my pressure is here. This is what's going on. And also make sure you're breathing right. That's another one. Most people are not breathing right. They're breathing top breathing. They're breathing from the chest and they're not breathing from the belly, which causes a lot of dizzy spells. You
Yes.
got it.
Yes.
You got it? So what you're doing is we're belly breathers. So when you breathe in, everybody take a deep breath. Everybody take a deep breath. All right? Stomach comes out. Got it? And when you blow out through what's called pursed lip breathing, like you blowing out of a straw.
Yes.
Stomach
All right.
goes down. Got it? One more time. Breathe in. Stomach comes out. Don't throw the chest up. Don't throw the chest up. You shouldn't be moving any of this chest area at all. And blow out. Like you're blowing out of a straw. Goes all the way out. Stomach goes down. Got it? If you want to enhance that or train yourself, lay on your back. Lay on a
What
flat
other place is better?
bed. And as you let gravity retrain you, as you breathe in, stomach goes up. Breathe out, stomach's going to fall. Got
There
it?
you go. There you go.
All right. All right, Troy. I
Thank
would
you,
go
sir.
through that little checklist, man. All right.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. All right. Who do we have now? Is that Big B? I don't know which one I'm looking at here. Anyone on the chat? Anyone on the chat?
I can't see you on your side, so.
Okay. I have iPhone. iPhone. Who's ever iPhone?
Is there?
I don't know who they are. It says iPhone. iPhone.
Okay, listen up, guys, but be
Yeah,
attentive.
any iPhone?
Yeah.
Okay.
Unmute yourself.
Unmute yourself.
No,
All right.
from the iPhone.
I
Okay.
see.
I do
I
have
see
an
my.
iPhone.
I see my sister up there now, and she has on pink. She's just smiling ear to ear. Go ahead. Unmute yourself. I'm gonna ask. I'm gonna ask to unmute. You got it. There you go.
There you
Oh,
go.
hi.
How you doing?
Oh, hi.
Tell us who
Hello.
you are. Tell us who you are.
Oh, hi. My name is Yvonne Sorrell, and I've met you through the Church of the Lord Jesus Christ of the Apostolic Faith. You've come to our conventions. So
All right.
I've heard of you and know about you. And my question to you is, as far as urinary incontinence, what can you use for that? Because I have to go to the bathroom a lot, and they put me on Metrobutric, which has side effects when you have high blood pressure. So what would you suggest?
Oh yeah, big one right now. Big issue right now, and we've addressed it here on the show, very much a lot, on the program. So what we're talking about is there's a high rate of what we call UTIs. Okay, urinary tract infections, and that's happening because we got to make sure we're not holding it, especially women. Men, we have the ability to go into public bathrooms, but you're having issues. You didn't go when it was in public before COVID, and y'all definitely don't go now. So when you're going to locations, I want you all to start to, and this is to the ladies, make sure you map out your location where you're going and where is the closest bathroom, Because here's what's going on. When you hold it, that's the worst thing you can do. When
Yes,
you
yes,
hold it, you hold it in this lower root chakra. If you look at the entire spine, there's a place, is the lower root chakra of what the endocrine system, the chakra, that's the part that builds up the most heat, is right in the area, in that lower burner. It's called lower burner. And in that area, if you're sitting on it and holding it and saying, "Oh, I'll go in a minute. I'll go in a minute. All right, my show on. Wait a minute. One more minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute." See, you holding it. You got it? Don't hold it, because the more you hold it, that's the perfect condition of that heat for bacteria to grow.
Mm-hmm.
Got it? So that's
So
what
very true.
happens when more people hold, and you may be consciously or unconsciously doing it. And if for long periods of time, years go by, then after a while, you start to go to the bathroom and you go in, you come out, you say, "Doggone it, feel like I gotta go again." After you come out, and you say, "I don't know what's going on." Yep, that's what's happening. Now it's gotten to the point where it feels full even after you go.
Mm-hmm.
It's empty, but the lining of the bladder is infected. You got it? That's what's happening. That's a urinary tract infection. Usually we'll see it by, when we do a urine analysis, we'll see a little blood in the urine, things like that. It's not something to be real concerned about, other than the fact that you're holding it and it's building up a problem. Now, here's where the problem gets complicated, though. Because when your body recognizes that you have some kind of infection, now your body says, "Wait a minute," heart's going to say, "Well, we're going to burn it out." So it starts to feed up the heart. Now your heart starts getting real fast. You say, "Why is my heart so fast all of a sudden? Oh my goodness, what's going on?" And then now your temperature's rising. Now you're saying, "Whoo, boy, I'm sweating up here. What is everybody? Whoo, somebody open the window." You know, it's getting sweat. You're sweating, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's because the body's trying to burn this stuff out of you. Got it? Trying to burn it out of you. And when it's trying to burn it out, it's raising the temperature. But here's the problem. Sometimes that temperature can get too high, close to around 108, which is around the boiling temperature of blood, which is too high. That's too much heat on your brain. Next thing you know, you getting too high, 100, 101, too much heat on the brain. That's when folks get, whoa, dizziness, and then they're falling out. And then you ever heard expression, they say, "Sister so-and-so or brother so-and-so keep falling." Why do they keep falling? You know why? It's a UTI, urinary tract infection, usually is what it is. You got it? So that's why you got to go back and start to make sure they're not holding it, things like that. You make sure you're not holding it, and make sure you start to cleanse. Now, not to diagnose, treat, cure, prevent any disease, just food for the soul. The herb we use is the golden seal root. Golden seal root, and and also always make sure you check with your doctor or physician that you are dealing with. Make sure it doesn't conflict with the current medication. But that's what we use to clean out that system. You remember, golden seal is a natural antibiotic, and you cannot take it for no longer than a certain period of time, meaning that you take it in a season. It's a protocol. 2 weeks on, 1 week off, 2 weeks back on, and then you quit it for a whole month. Okay, after you quit it for a month, you can repeat the cycle after you waited a month. And usually we try to tell folks to do at least two. Prophetess is asking me to let her in. I don't see you, Prophetess. Where are you? She's texting me. Let me in. I don't see you. I don't see you.
Handle business. I don't.
Oh, wait a minute. Oop, my bad. I didn't see.
I'm not going.
Oh, don't tell her. I didn't do it.
I won't tell her.
Prophetess, it wasn't me. That was Bill.
Throw Bill under the bus.
That's okay. That's all right. I can handle it. I got broad shoulders. Bring it on, Dr. P.
All right. So,
all right.
My sister, you know what you got to do? Don't hold it, right? And that's for all the sisters, all the brothers too. See, a lot of the seniors, they're laughing when people are going into the ER. And when they get into the ER, they're saying, why are all these things, these folks coming in here talking all crazy, they falling all over the floor, they mumbling, blah, blah, blah. You can't get their words right, confused. Urinary tract infection. It's too much heat on the brain. Too much heat on the brain. You got it? That's what's going on. That's exactly what's going on. Discombobulation. It's a form of being discombobulated. They can't get their thoughts together. Again, can't process. You can't mess with, when you get too much heat on your brain, it messes you up. That's like a computer. If you have a computer on too long, your computer starts acting crazy. It's like, yo, you better turn me off and let me rest. It's too much. You got it? Same thing with you. So that's why we have to cleanse the system, right? That's what Golden Seal was used for. You got it? For cleansing the system.
I did order your green drink, your the plan. I just ordered. I haven't used it yet, so it should go soon. But I want to do the 40-day cleanse that you have.
Yes, absolutely. The 40-day cleanse is excellent for this time of season. Spiritual cleanse also. Whatever you do, spirit, mind, and body in that order. It's going to give you a heightened ability to connect, to think things through. Clean that liver. You clean that liver, you're going to see some amazing things with your body. The liver is connected directly to the brain. We call it laws of complementary pairs, which mean you're connected directly to your brain. That's a backup battery, but it's also the organ of the emotions, drama, trauma, stuff. So when you clean that, you clean your blood, you get your digestion right. Next thing, all things are clicking on all cylinders, okay?
Yes.
So what's the word? What's the word? Don't hold it.
Don't hold it. Let it go. Let it go. Yeah.
Let it go.
All right. That's right.
All right.
Thank you.
All right.
Okay,
All right.
very good.
Thank you. What was your name again?
Yvonne Sorrell.
Yvonne.
Yvonne
All right.
Sorrell.
My pleasure, Yvonne.
Thank you, Yvonne.
Thank you.
Be sure and remute now. Thank you. Very good. Very good.
All right. What else we have here? Who else do we have here? You can drop your hand once we've talked to you. And you can drop your hand. And who do I have here? Is that
There are a lot
Fire?
of folks who are asking where they can find it, and of course, Prophet just put all the information in where they
Yes.
get the green drink, the
Yes.
park herbs, and vitamin center, guys. Right?
Yeah,
there.
I just
Green
dropped off a huge load at Pollock's this afternoon and Wayne Avenue. So there's more coming in. We just trying to keep up with the times right now, family. Like I say, it's becoming a challenge. I'm telling you, every week something comes through where the distributor's saying we can get this, but we can't get that. We can get this, but we can't get that.
Yes.
It's import export, and it's only going to be more of a challenge every week. So we're trying the best we can. Just bear with us, okay? All right. I got fire tablets. Who's fire? Is that fire tables? Y'all got some names, boy. Oh, is that now? Who are you that you gonna put that on there? You know who you are.
Good evening, good evening, good evening,
Good evening.
everyone. I just have a few questions. You
Okay.
were going over the Golden Seal route. You said 2 weeks in, 2 weeks off. And after that, a month, you wait a month and then you start again.
Right. You can wait a week, wait a month. After you wait a
Yeah,
month,
wait a month,
then you
right?
can
Okay.
repeat the process. Right. That is
Okay.
correct.
Okay.
Golden Seal changed the whole NFL because there was a time when,
Yeah.
the
I'm right
players.
here.
Yep, there you go. No combinations. Got it. Some people will say, well, I have Golden Seal with my echinacea. Don't do that. No combinations. Got it. Has to be the straight Golden Seal and the root, not the herb, the root. Got it?
Okay.
Root is always going to be the strongest portion. Got
Okay.
it? It's always going to be the strongest. All right.
Okay. Second question. About 3-4 weeks ago, you gave us that herb that would help with the lungs. I think it's MUGWORT,
Mugwort.
the mugwort. Can I
Yes.
get that on Wayne Avenue?
Artemisia. Yes.
Yeah,
Artemisia.
down here.
Yes.
Can I get that
Artemisia.
on Wayne Avenue?
Yep. You can get
Okay,
a
very good.
big old bag of it. That's right.
You said $3 a pound. Okay, got that down.
Don't quote me on that price because he gonna get me if I quote him a price. But
Okay,
you can get a
I'll
big
just
old
go
bag.
get it. I'll just
But
go
that's
get it.
what's
I won't
happening
quote
in
the price.
Tanzania. That's what's happening in Tanzania right now. I don't know if y'all know about Tanzania right now. In Tanzania, there is the herb is called mugwort. Here is called mugwort. But
Okay.
mugwort is being used to fight COVID, and they're having, that's what they call their COVID formula.
Oh,
And countries around the world are ordering from Tanzania to get this combination of mugwort. It's a cultural herb for the people of Tanzania, and that's of course on the east side of Africa, and they are getting people from everywhere. And the world is so much to the point where the World Health had to come out and say, no, it's not for COVID. It hasn't been studied. It hasn't been studied. Stop doing all that. Do you think people stopped?
No.
No, they were like,
no.
no. If they say must, give me 5 more. Give me a barrel. They wanted more of it. The more they're trying to tell you that it hasn't been studied, they haven't researched it, but yet people over there. Matter of fact, Bill, Big B, go to Tanzania. You got Tanzania on our COVID chart.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Let me go
Africa.
back.
If we go to Africa, maybe we can look at.
Let me go. Go on. While you do, I'll see if I can find it here. Tanzania.
Zimbabwe. I think it's Tanzania. If we can look at that.
Keep going. I'll see if I can find it.
Yeah. Yeah. This is it. Tanzania. 509 cases.
Yes.
21 people dead.
Yes.
Out of 61 million people.
Does that tell you something?
Yo,
Cole?
y'all hear that? Did y'all hear that? Is this microphone on? Did y'all hear this?
Okay.
Tanzania, 509 people confirmed of having COVID. Of the 509 people, 21 people dead. Out of 61 million people. Their population is 61 million people. 21 people. I think y'all better find out what's going on in Tanzania.
Yes, that's why it's exciting here at the tree each week when you find out information like this. It kind of helps your brain.
Big B,
come back home, man.
61 million. I'm so glad that y'all brought that up today, because now I'm going to put that on blast. 20, that is an amazing number.
Yes.
That is amazing. So what are they using? That's called mugwort. 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 And all you do is what? Make a mugwort tea, steep some hot water, take the tea leaves, drop it in there 3 to 5 minutes. Actually, it's good for the lungs. It's a lot of the things that are good for the lungs means that they grow in mountainous areas, but they're also very good for keeping the lungs moist. When the COVID attacks the upper respiratory, it deals with it makes it hard because it strips the moisture and it gets cool. So you have to keep the lungs warm, and that's what mugwort does. It keeps the lungs warm. It has this thing called inulin, inulin. Inulin, it keeps them moist. So there's a lot of herbs that have inulin in them. Mullein is another one. Not to diagnose, treat, cure, prevent any disease, just food for the soul, family. And that would be things like nettle, Nettle. The stinging nettle. You can find that all out in Fairmount Park. It's growing like crazy out in Fairmount Park.
Sir.
Matter of fact, they call it stinging nettle because when you touch it, it releases like this it's like a protein, but it's like a protein that's almost has an acid effect. So when you touch it, it actually burns. That's where it got its name, stinging nettle.
Okay.
You don't even have to know. All you got to do is brush up against it. You're going to know. That's some stinging nettle right there. That's what that is. So what you have to understand is that there's plenty of herbs out here to regenerate the lungs. Got to keep them moist.
Wow.
Got it? All right. So that was a good one. All right. Was that the end of the questions? I think that was it,
I think
right?
that was the end of that question. Yes, Dr. Paul.
Okay. All right. Who do we have now? All right, Keith, I see you down there. Let's hear from Keith.
Yeah, how you doing, Dr. Paul? I'm back in Philly.
Hey, he's back.
Yeah. Now, last week you talked about detoxing the kidneys, and you did say about detoxing the liver. I missed that. Now, was it lemon and the clove, and you boil it as a tea, or how does that work?
Yeah, you have and maybe Prophetess or someone is nice enough to grab that formula. That was, I believe that was that the kidney flush that we were talking about?
Yes. Uh-huh.
Okay, yeah. So, what you're doing is the little lemon water. There's a lot of different things that you can use with that, but I want to back up 2 steps though. Kidneys are becoming very, very critical right now. You don't want to get too deep with it. I'm going to give you something that's real simple. Something as simple as celery. Got it?
Okay.
Celery. Raw organic celery. Just juice it and juice it and juice it. And you're going to see some incredible things.
Really? Wow.
See, remember, we have this thing called doctrine of signatures, which means that everything has a replication factor. So, for example, we say God's signature. All you have to do is look at it and it tells you what it is and what it does. So there's those arteries that get blocked inside of the kidneys they're being what's called striated. They're striated like this. They're like this. Got it? So they're actually, that's the way they function, like this, straightforward, right?
Right.
So if you get something that has that same property and principles as something striated, it's good for that area. Got it? So if you look at celery, right? Look at celery. Anybody have celery? Anybody got some celery they can look at right now?
Not in my hip pocket.
Oh, okay, probably not. But anyway, if you broke some celery and you're going to see it, what does it look like? It looks like what? Strings, right?
Strings.
Looks like strings. Striated, right? Striated, what they call it, striated. Maybe I'm pronouncing it wrong. Striated,
Right.
which means that they're going straight across. That means energy flows in that way. So when you put that inside of you, that's going to be also your bones are striated. Same thing. That's why when you get a fracture, they fracture like that. Got it? That means the energy flows like this. So that's why celery is also good for your bones. Wow. You want to strengthen your bones? You want to strengthen your bone density? Celery. Doesn't celery look like bones?
Certainly does.
Think about it. Doesn't it look like bones? Yes, it does. Yes, it does. So maybe that's something that you can look at also. Now, I do have the kidney flush, or is a kidney flush. It was half a cup of lemon juice.
Prophet has got it already in the chat.
You already
Dr.
got it in
Paul.
there?
Yes.
Okay, now it was garlic clove. Is that what you said? It was garlic clove.
Yes,
and then someone
one
asked
garlic
if,
clove.
right, and they were asking if you could use minced garlic. Yes, you can. Okay. Some people use minced garlic also. So that would be the equivalent of one tablespoon, I believe. Yeah, 1 tablespoon of garlic clove. And that could be
you
that could
boil
be
it and you
awesome.
drink it.
You can
tea.
actually no. You're taking this as a drink. So it's not
Okay.
necessarily boiling. Right. Some
Oh,
things it
just
has
as a drink.
the ability to be thermal. So thermal, which means that there's heat involved. See, some people can use heat, which helps to open up the pores, which actually allows you to absorb it better and quicker. So yes, absolutely. If you want to take it as a hot, you want to heat it up, just don't microwave it, y'all. Don't microwave it. Don't put it in the microwave, right? Just heat it, keep it warm, and then you can make that same formula. So you got it up there, right, Prophetess? Okay.
Yep.
Okay,
Now,
got it.
how about the liver? Cleansing the liver, detoxing the liver, like you were saying, for the
Yeah.
mind and the brain.
Right. So the liver flush would be the half a cup of fresh lemon juice also.
Oh, okay, same.
Half a cup of lecithin. Lecithin granules. Lecithin is LECITHIN.
Yeah, that's right. There you go.
The granules. And 1 1 tablespoon of horseradish root powder. Radish root powder. And then you would add 1 garlic clove. Or you remember the combination. It could be garlic clove. It could be powder or mince. Okay. And as long as it's, but you're going to look for about 2 tablespoons of that if it's powder or mince. Got it? And then we take a little pinch of cayenne pepper. Okay. That's the formula for the liver flush. Okay. And then we
What was
also
that first before? I'm sorry, before the horseradish. What was that? That was first before the.
It's called lecithin. Lecithin. It's a nutrient, lecithin. Right. It's good for digestion. Right. Lecithin is also, it moves the digestion very well. That's why
How
you'll
much?
see. We're looking at about 1/4 cup of granules. Yeah, 1/4 cup.
Dr. Paul, one other question I had. I did have the COVID, and I'm still having my sleep is not right. Still, my sleep is a problem. I don't. I just can't figure it out. My sleep is a problem, man.
Well, remember, just go back to your circadian rhythm. All right. Make sure.
I'm trying. I'm trying to eat right. Everything, man. It's
Don't
not
drink.
working.
No drinking water after 7, right?
Right.
Okay. Good. Turn the TV off, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. No TV.
I'm doing everything. But I'm just not. I don't know if what's going on when I had the COVID or what have you. I don't know if it's something happened where it just messed my sleep rhythm up.
Interesting.
I don't know, and I haven't since I've had it. I don't know. It hasn't come back, and I've tried everything. I mean, everything.
Okay. So, what time are you going to bed?
Like around 10. I try to go at 10 o'clock.
About 10 o'clock. Okay.
Yeah.
So, now keep in mind how was your exercise?
I try to walk. Like 3 miles. I ride my bike. So I'm getting my exercise in. Now, I think what happened was when I did have the COVID, I had kidney issues. And I don't know if, that affected like months later. I kind of like the fog a little bit I had, and it since it's gone, but still my sleep is off.
Right. Now you're structurally sound, all right? Remember we talk about being structurally sound. No backaches or anything?
No backaches.
Yeah, backaches or cervical areas in the spine. See what's happening too, pressure, the magnesium is a very critical nutrient in the body, magnesium. And I believe that, that's why God made everything green. Because that's the number one source for magnesium.
Exactly right.
So, ladies and gentlemen, if you got a green thumb and you want to really show off your plants and your trees and all of your floral this summer, guess what? Add some magnesium to the soil of the planet.
Wow.
And that will give it the definition of darker green. That's what brings now the brightness to the flowers. So one accents the other.
Okay.
So how do you get the magnesium? That's when you would use some of the greatest sources of magnesium would be what? Epsom salts. Wow.
Okay.
Epsom salts. So you would put that right around that area of the plant and watch that plant just go crazy. So, Keith, I would say some of the things that you want to look at are magnesium deficiencies. Got it? Make sure that magnesium calms the nerve system, calms the system down so that you can get sleep. And usually that's why people, when they say, I'm just going to take a nice hot bath and go to bed, nice salts bath and go to bed. Now you know why. Because the salts bath, usually Epsom salts, is full with magnesium, calms the central nervous system. When you get out, you're real calm and rested. Got it?
Okay.
So some of those things help you put yourself in preparation for times of calming down. But that also means don't walk around with bright lights in your house.
Wow.
Right.
Mhm.
Got it? Everybody should be having dimming lights right now. Everybody's lights should be nice and dim, because every bit of light that's in your home right now is causing your body to now think that it's still daylight. So you're not firing off this thing called melanin, which is they call it melatonin, but it's really melanin. and really what it means is that that's firing off. Your body's still saying, stay awake, Keith. Stay awake, Keith. You got to stay awake. Stay
Yeah.
awake. You got me?
Yeah.
And that's called the grand triangle. That's your pineal gland. That
Yeah.
pineal gland sits right here. The master sergeant is the pineal. Fires off the pituitary to the hypothalamus. That's where that thing in that rhythm's going. You remember we talked about this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I would just start to go with those things like magnesium. Okay, get your preparation though, and letting your body, because everything you do and everything you say, your body's automatically listening.
Mm-hmm.
That means that every time you got the bright lights on, body's saying, all right, I guess we're supposed to stay up, and you don't fire off. You don't fire off those things that relax you, which is the hormones for relaxation.
How many
Which is the
times
melatonin.
should I get magnesium powder or just and
The greatest
what?
source, yeah, you can get separate magnesium, or you can just, like I'm saying, I would say get a magnesium bath. Get into that Epsom salts or the Himalayan salt bath. That's why we talk about the Himalayan salt being so well of a calmative, but also the ones that calm that down would be like valerian root. I used to have this little routine. I'm gonna give y'all one of my out of my book. When I was having real, when you study and then sometimes you get overwhelmed and it's so much going on and you got to really calm it down and you really want to just get focused because so much is going on. One of the things that always helped me reset was the Himalayan salt bath. And not to diagnose, treat, cure, prevent any disease, just food for the soul. Valerian. Yep. Valerian root capsules. And then by the time I got out of there, man, I was tingling from the top of my head to the soles of my feet. Got it? It's just a very calming nature. And also the valerian is from the, people don't know, but it's a calmative herb that's good for specifically areas of the pineal gland. It's a melanin generator. Melanin is calming, cooling, relaxing, things like that. So that's one thing. There's a lot of different things and components, but I would start with dimming your lights. That's where the dimmers and the lights come from. That's when you come home, you're supposed to be, dimming the lights down. Because remember, before there wasn't no lights, it was just like candles.
Yeah.
Right?
Mhm.
You remember? Right?
Mhm.
It's dark. Ain't no lights, y'all. And that's why everybody on the farm went to bed at the same time.
Yes,
You got
sir.
it?
That's right.
See, their rhythms were already connected. And then when, you didn't even have to tell that rooster what time it was. As soon as he saw that come up, his pineal, whoa. You got it? It's time to get up. You didn't have to tell him 6 o'clock every morning. That bird didn't have to have any clock. Knows what time to get up. How does he know? He knows because his rhythm is connected to the universe, to the actual poles of this planet. You got it? So that's where we have to get back connected again. Get back connected to where you are so that start with dimming the lights. Prepare yourself for relaxation. A lot of people are not preparing themselves. So I would say do some of those things. Like, I would dim those lights in the back. I would also, get your comfortable shoes on, have, just certain things that are happening around you that show relaxation, or we call female principle. Female principle is relaxation.
Yes.
Got it? Female principle. Get yourself in that female principle. That's why, a lot of people are saying, I just want to, I want to have a pamper party, it's going to go to a spa and just relax for a day. That's a female principle. Got it? Relaxation. All right.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Sounds good, Keith. All right.
Mhm.
Welcome back, bruh.
Yeah.
All right. I got Mary Kay up there. Mary Kay.
Hello. Hi, Dr. Paul.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. We're doing well.
Okay, so I just need to go back to real quickly your Valerium. Could you spell that for me?
Valerian. V is in Victor. ALERIAN. I believe Valerian.
Yep. Yeah, that's right.
Right.
That's right.
Valerian.
Okay.
Root.
Okay.
And it doesn't have the most popular smell, but definitely it is definitely an herb that is stimulating for the melanin. It stimulates melanin production, which is your what we call chemical key to life. Got it?
Okay.
All right.
you for
Now,
that.
also keep in mind what valerian was used from. You know, that's where they mimicked to get Valium from.
Okay.
Oh, wow. Okay.
None of y'all know that. That's where they mimicked that. They said, you know what, that valerian is good, but we got to maybe name it something else. How about Valium? That'll work. Stole it again. All right, go ahead. All right, go ahead. And
Okay,
Mary,
so
did you
my
have another
main
question?
My main question is how do you starve fibroids? I currently have I'm told just one fibroid the size of an orange. And I have not I'm on a plant-based diet, and I have been for a few years now, and I'm just trying to not have surgery.
Okay. All right. So now, do you know the positioning of the fibroid? Is it at the base, or is it in the lining, or inside the uterus?
I'm going to find more out soon, but I know it is posterior.
Okay.
So I don't know if it's inside or outside.
Okay. So here we go. Good topic for right now. When you're talking about fibroid cysts or tumors or any kind, number one thing you got to get back is rhythm. We're talking about rhythm today. That's another rhythm. This is another rhythm question. Got it? So rhythm, circadian rhythm goes back to, cycles. And when you eat, you must eliminate. Got it? You eat, you must eliminate. How many bowel movements are you having today?
2, 2, maybe 3.
Okay. Now, has it always been there?
No.
Right.
As of lately, I've been really paying attention to what I've been eating and how much I've been eliminating. And so at one time I was eating processed heavy foods. And so when I when I found out about the fibroid, I cut back substantially. And so that's when I noticed that, okay, I'm a bit more regular.
Yeah, that's where it comes from. I'm going to tell you that's where it's coming from.
Okay.
Also, there's a couple of things you got to be aware of when you're getting back in the rhythm. You want to bring. We don't rip, cut, or burn nothing out. Got it?
No, that's right.
Period. Okay. We shrink them. That's what you would do, and that's what the herbs do. They shrink them. The fact that there is a fibroid cyst or tumor is showing that the body's trying to isolate it. It's like a computer trying to quarantine something. I'm trying to keep it from the rest of the body, so I'm going to lump it together. And that's where the fibroid cyst and tumor comes from. But also remember, a lot of this comes from, again, rhythm issues. Like you said, you were eating a lot of processed foods, and that means constipation. You're out of rhythm. Now, when you eat, you're not eliminating, and that stuff is sitting on your gut. So now if it sits on the gut for so long, and after a long period of time, starts to now get stuck for women, right at the lower part of the abdomen, 1 inch from your navel, top of the uterus. That's where we find the fibroid, the cyst, and the tumors begin, right there. That's because that stuff is starting to metastasize. It's sitting, and is now starting to moves down. Then it moves to the base, and then either into the lining, and then eventually into the uterus. That's when it gets complicated. Now they're talking DNC, and next thing you know, it gets real complicated. But here it goes back to what? Getting your rhythm back. Now, you said as soon as you started to doing a plant-based diet now, more energy stuff start moving now. Now you're getting more regular rhythm. Got it? So there are some herbs that are specifically that we use, but there's a combination of taking the herbs, and we got to go way back down south again. A lot of women start to douche with those same herbs. Got it? Based on the position of where that is. If it's in the cervix, if it's into the uterus, anywhere, because it could be in the walls, it could be in a lot of different places. So some of those herbs, and this is not to diagnose, treat, kill, prevent any disease, just food for the soul, but these are some that were used. There would be Pau d'Arco, P-A-U-D'-A-R-C-O, Pau d'Arco. It's just speaking in general, not because I've seen you, but just in general, right? Pau d'Arco is the bark from the Brazilian tree. Something also, burdock root, B-U-R-D-O-C-K. Red clover, okay. Golden seal, and chaparral. C-H-A-P-A-R-R-A-L, chaparral. See, these are also, not only are these herbs that are what are considered by universities that have studied them cancer scavengers. We've always known them as cancer scavengers.
Yes.
So that means when they enter the body, they say, where you at? Where you at? I'm going after him. Where is he? Woo, that's a bad boy right there. He on assignment from the Most High. Where is he? I'm going after him. That's mean. That means I'm going in to correct the problem. But you got to stop doing the things that you know that are triggers that keep it going. You got it? Stop supporting the lifestyle that goes with that, which is the processed foods. But I seem like you've already accomplished that. All right? Yes. So cleansing the system, will do that. And you take those same herbs, you would make it as teas. You can also make them and capsulize, whatever you do, and then you would douche with them. Okay. Same way. And with that, with water, of course, a lot of water, because those herbs, once they bind to the system, you have to flush it out. So that means you have to get water. If you ever are taking herbs and they start to either feel nauseous or you feel like you're headachy, that's usually because you're seriously dehydrated. Got it? So make sure you're flushing always at a good time. You got to flush that stuff out of you. You got it? Okay. Keep your water. What's your water? What kind of water are you drinking?
Oh, spring.
What kind of spring? She's smiling, Bill. She's smiling, Bill. She's smiling on me.
No, I just get it from.
What kind?
I just get it from the market, the store brand. I know you have one that you recommend.
Yeah.
She said, whatever on sale, Bill. What do you mean?
I know that's right.
Whatever's on sale. It's spring water. It's spring water. No, it's not. Got it? Spring water, bottle at the source. So you got all that good herb. You got all those good herbs. But as soon as you take a bad water, you just strip the energy out of it. You just destroyed it. You got it? See, these are the things that people don't realize that are going on. This is an energy game. Body knows nothing but energy. That's it. I'm not fighting over nothing else. It's not the herb, it's the energy in the herb that represents.
There you go.
See, the herb does what you can't do. See, the herb is coming from the earth, which is the magnetism of the planet, and it's been nurtured and given all the strength and energy out of the dirt, which we can't reach down and eat dirt, but the plant can. Then it grabs all the energy. We eat the plant. Now we got it.
There you go.
Got it?
There you go.
Conversion of energy. And that's why what we eat, we got to eat the plants. We got to eat the earth. That's the sun in the earth. That's really basically it. So the plant is basically a derivative of the sun. So you put that sun in you, and that's where things come alive. All right. So keep that going. Okay. Get off that bad water. Get you
All
some
right.
Crystal Geyser, all right?
Crystal Geyser. That's where
Crystal
you want, Mary.
Geyser. Okay.
There
Crystal
you
Geyser.
go. I knew you knew the name of it, right? I knew.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Mary. All right. Who do we got over here? What time we got there, Big B?
It's we're at 8:32, Dr. Paul.
Okay, I got Stan over there. Stan the man.
Yes, sir, brother. Good evening.
How you doing, man?
I'm better now, brother. December 29th, I was diagnosed with COVID.
Stan, you're breaking up real
You're breaking
bad,
up,
Stan.
Stan. Where
Breaking up real bad.
Hold on. Let me see if I can do something.
All right. Did we lose Stan?
He's still there.
Okay. All right. We're gonna let Stan get that
come back to
together.
Stan, Dr. Paul.
Okay,
You there, Stan?
I had to use a different computer.
Okay, that's all right. He's not on the
Okay.
show.
Okay.
What I was saying is that I had COVID pneumonia, and I had blood clots on my lungs. I wound up in the hospital December 29th to February the 12th, and from February 12th to March 16th, I was in a nursing home. I wound up with high blood pressure. I'm on blood thinners, and also during the time of my hospital stay, they were also treating me for diabetes, but I'm not taking diabetic medication right now, and I'm also on oxygen. I'll be seeing you first or second week in June. I've made my appointment.
Okay.
And what I need to know is I need to get off this oxygen. I need to get off these meds that I'm not used to taking. So until I see you, what would be your suggestion? I have the eliminator. I went ahead and I got that, the eliminator, and the other, I forget the other cleanse that comes along with it.
The colon cleanse. Yeah, the colon cleanse. Yep.
Is that the same as what you were talking about, the 40-day cleanse? Is that?
Yep, that is correct. That is correct. That's what this is right here. The colon cleanse. I don't know if y'all can see that. That's
There you go, right there. That works. That works.
So I'm going to, but the one thing about it with this Eliquis, I don't know whether I can take the cleanse on.
Yeah. Okay, here we go. I see where you're going. And this is where, this is the what is this called? Conundrum? Is it a conundrum? Where people we get caught between two worlds.
Yes.
You got it? You're caught between allopathic and trying to do something naturopathic, which is, the way your body has been designed. And the medication tends to be a problem. It makes things worse because remember, they're only suppressing the symptoms. They're not correcting the problem. They're just suppressing the symptoms to allow your body to correct itself eventually. But if you're not feeding the body, then the immune system has no chance of coming back. You got it? So here's the thing. You have to, first of all, be evaluated with what you're having. What are your symptoms? What have you been diagnosed with? So we start there. But I always bring folks back to the universal fundamental principles of basic things. Your water, when you're eating, how you're eating, staying off the processed foods, refined sugar, refined salt, refined oil. Those things have to be a must because no matter what I recommend for you, if you're still doing those things, you just defeated the purpose. You're splitting the fence. That's what we call it, a conundrum, where you're like, I can't do this without doing that. Or some will call it a catch-22. You're caught in those situations where you're like, you can't go this way without being bad that way. So this is where you would start. Start off by first getting your water right. Okay? Start off with getting your water right. With your oxygen, you have to understand there's, that's the critical part of the body that receives the life force that allows you to cleanse all parts of the body. So you have to familiarize yourself with all those herbs that are good with the lungs. Got it? So let me give you a few. Not to diagnose, treat, cure, prevent any disease, just food for the soul. Mullein, Mullein, Mullen, Mullen. All right. Another one would be nettle. I talked about nettle tonight. Nettle, or also called AKA stinging nettle. Sea buckthorn. Sea buckthorn. SEA, second word, buckthorn. These are things that grow in high mountainous areas. Another one would be for lungs. I would really try to go with the olive leaf. Olive leaf. Got it? Olive leaf.
Okay.
Okay, so there's just a few right there that are good for the lungs. Yarrow is another one. Yarrow. Or yerba. I'm sorry, yerba. 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 Okay. So these are herbs that help to give moisture to the lungs again. You got it? And also, you got to start to do a little bit of things like breathing exercises. Starts with breathing in through the nose or the mouth, right? Stomach comes out, not the chest. Got it?
Yes.
Okay. And you're breathing right? And when you blow out through pursed lips, which means you're blowing out from, and the stomach goes down.
Right. We do
Got it?
that twice a day.
Yep. So that's what you want to do. So that, along with that, hot teas, thermal teas are good for you because heat is very good. So hot teas. So every one of those herbs I just mentioned, you need to take that as a hot tea.
Okay, great.
Okay,
now,
that can help you.
Now, does Wayne Avenue, do they have these teas?
Yeah, they got everything. Yep, they got everything, especially when it comes to the loose herbs.
Yeah, because I bought some things a week or so ago.
Right.
I'm
Now let me finish my point with your medication. Remember, your medication, you never take herbs and medication at the same time.
Yep.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. Never do that. Always do it with the proper instruction, but you can't do a whole lot until you start getting proper instruction. If your goal is to transition, then you work on that transition slowly, but it comes with education. You got to educate, how to do it, when to eat, when not to eat, things you got to stay away from. Got it? So
Right.
I would definitely recommend that. So when you come in, I'll be able to instruct you further on what you do if that's your goal. But I would start to study fundamental things that we're talking about tonight. Water, half your body weight in ounces, circadian rhythm, alkaline-based diet. You got it? Stay away from those refined sugar, refined salt, refined oils. Go to my website, grab that top 10 toxic foods list. Okay? Stay away from that stuff. You got to feed the body life. That's the whole point.
Okay.
Got it?
Can you give me that website?
Sure. www.drpaul, DRPAUL, herbs with an S.com.
Okay. All right. Well, we thank you.
All
we'll
right.
See you
All right. We'll see you. All right.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. All right, family. Let's see.
Man.
Big B, is it time to go?
Yeah, bro. We are at that point, Dr. Paul. Believe it or not, we are.
Oh,
at 41
man.
now, so.
I hope y'all got something out of this tonight. Did anybody get everything out of this tonight? Did you learn anything tonight, y'all?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
All right. So a lot of this is, this is the fourth wave you're going through right now. The fourth wave is that, yes, there's a problem when, we're being promoted that, there's 4 million vaccines every single day.
Yes.
But yet the numbers are rising. There's a problem here. There's a problem. The problem is that they have no clue what's going on. The variants are the problem. This thing is mutating. It's constantly mutating, and it's taking on variations. So you remember I mentioned this like weeks ago. I said I got a problem with the way the marketing is going on with Big B.
Yes.
Didn't I mention that? I
Most
said the
certainly did.
marketing is
Yes,
going
sir.
the wrong. They're marketing it as if this is it. This is the solution to normalcy again. And now people are going to go into a state of even more. This fourth wave is going to make people start to say, wait a minute, man, this is driving me crazy. And that's when you start to seeing all these people start to doing crazy stuff.
That's right.
You
That's
know,
exactly
and that's
right.
when you're seeing more shootings. The crime in Philadelphia is going sky high right now, y'all. You know, the crime in all cities is going crazy because people are getting desperate.
Mhm.
You know, now they're saying more people are buying guns now. You know, this is all crazy.
Yes, a whole
Yeah,
bunch of them.
it's a lot going on. More divorces right now. Right now. Children having post-traumatic stress issues from not being able to go to school. You know, all of this stuff is going on, and it's promoting. That's what I said. The problem I got is that they're promoting that this is the cure-all. It's not the cure-all. You know, it's just saying that you're trying to prevent it, but it's being promoted. So now you got Texas just opened up 40,000 stadium in Texas to play baseball. 40,000 people. It doesn't matter. You can wear a mask if you want to or not. You got me? And because of what happened, I just got word this week, because y'all know that my father was a Negro League ball player, so we actually are recognized every year at the All-Star game. They still pay homage to the Negro League players. And this year, we were scheduled to go to Atlanta, but now that was canceled because of the Voters Act issue that they were having. They moved it out to Denver. They going out to Denver. I was like, man, I'm not trying to go to Denver right now. I could have drove to Atlanta, but I'm not driving. I'm not rolling all the way to Denver. Now, all the airplanes and, places like the, transportation, they're trying to ease this thing on. Do we mandatory make them take vaccines, or does everyone have to be tested? Here's the thing. Don't go out of town. Don't go out of the country right now, y'all. Not a good time. Not a good time. If you plan on taking a trip, you might want to postpone that one right now. Because what's happening is you'll test, negative here. But as soon as you get out, you're going to have to test negative to get back in here. You're going to have to test again. So a lot of Americans are getting jammed up overseas or wherever in other countries and can't get back. You got to test negative just to get out of the country that you're in.
Wow.
So keep all of these things on your heart. Keep it on your minds. I want you to start to really, focus again on the inner woman, inner man. Got it? And that's where you start to know that that's the only barometer of health that you have, is to know thyself. Because if you know thyself, you'll know the universe, because the universe is inside of each and every one of us. How about that?
That's exactly
Isn't
right.
that a beautiful concept?
Yes, sir, Dr. Paul.
Beautiful. All right, family. We got to close it out. Big B, tell them some of the information before we leave. All right.
Of course, Dr. Paul. One of the things that we always try to make sure the guys know that for each one of the programs, we also put together all the things you've been talking about tonight and every week. We turn all that stuff in. Let me see if you can even see this. The entire chat area, guys, is turned into a program so that you can actually get a copy of everything that's been said here each and every time. Okay, and also bear in mind that we make sure that we do what, that we continue to support this whole program. So we bring more and more people so that we can do what, sit down and have the kind of conversation that we do right here on the Green Hour. But listen,
the Green Hour.
About that. The family tree, guys. What can I tell you? See that he gets me all mixed up, guys. But that's okay. And it's important that we do that, because guess what? If we don't do that, you can end up in a mell of a hess. Did I say that? Hallelujah.
Yep.
And so what you want to do, guys, you make sure we look, guess what? We do this by supporting the program right here. And you send that through Dr. Paul's Cash App. And that is the way to do that is the what? The $. That's capital DR, capital PAUL, capital HOP. send a donation. Continue to bring people in and bring them. By the way, because guess what? This is what it's all about. We got to keep the family healthy. Send it, hit it, and bring more people. And by the way, make a video at Gmail. Make a video at gmail.com. That way you make sure you got a copy of all the stuff that we have here each and every week. All right?
Bill, can you get Venmo?
Huh?
Can you get Venmo?
No,
Cash App?
We'll make sure we make sure for that for next week. How about that?
Venmo? Okay.
Okay, we'll set that up.
Thank you.
All right.
All right.
Bye-bye.
All right, family. So listen, family, it is time to go. But hey, I want to thank everyone that has chimed in. This has been an awesome family tree, and there's no better place to be around the tree to talk about the stuff you got going on. How about that?
Thank you so
And
much.
you learn so much faster, right?
That's exactly
Yes.
right.
All right. So give yourselves a hand. I want everybody to give yourselves a hand. And you know how we leave this? We say, show us your moves.
That's it.
Because I want everyone to be encouraged. Be encouraged. Because remember, if you're breathing,
You got it.
bless y'all.
All right. Bye-bye.